and the Giants by 1.5. And as for Detroit, they're tied for first with Minnesota, so it's a big series. It'll be Chad Billingsley going for the Dodgers, and we'll get to the ball game. We'll have it all coming up for you right after this. any time of the day. And by Nissan, who invites you to shift the way you move. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Friday night to you, wherever you may be. A crowd of maybe upwards of 40 to 45,000 ready to look in on the first interleague game of the year, the Dodgers and the Detroit Tigers. Back in 2005, Detroit came here, and the Dodgers managed to win 2 out of 3. For the Tigers, tied with Minnesota, they come in with a 2-game winning streak, and they've also won 7 of the last 10. They've been very successful against the National League in the last 4 or 5 years. They're 52-20. For the Dodgers, having had a 9-game winning streak snap, but they came right back with a victory. So they won 10 out of 11. And it has been a merry month of May for the Dodgers, 14-4. Back in April of 1977, that ball club had a great April and won 17 of 20. For the Dodgers, looking for their 100th interleague victory, but more importantly, hoping that somewhere along the line, while they're playing Detroit, San Diego might stumble against Seattle, and the Giants might take a header against Oakland. Let's take a look now at the Tiger lineup brought in by Jim Leyland. Austin Jackson in center field, Ramon Santiago at short, Maggio Ordonez in right field, Miguel Cabrera at first base, Brennan Bosch in left field, Brandon Inge at third, Alex Avila behind the plate, Danny Worth at second base, and an old friend, Dontrell Willis, on the mound. On the mound for the Dodgers, Chad Billingsley. Billingsley with a record of 4-2. And as far as the American League is concerned, he is 3-3. You may remember he picked up his 4th victory Sunday, beating the Padres, going 7 1/3 scoreless innings. So here we go. Into league play, the Dodgers and Detroit. And the first man up is a Denton dandy. He's from Denton, Texas, by the name of Austin Jackson. And Jackson, highly ranked, comes in. Right-hand batter, tall and lean, 6'1", 185, and he takes high, ball 1-0. Jackson comes in leading the American League in strikeouts, and he's still hitting .329. He has a home run, 11 runs batted in, and he fouls a pitch back, and the count 1-1. Interesting to look at some of these young players whom we've not seen before. Investigating tells you when he hits ahead of the count, he's hitting .444. Well, he's even right now, 1-1. Billingsley deals up and in to drive him out of the box, and a 2-ball, 1-strike count. Austin Jackson impressed the Tigers last year, hitting .358 in 17 Grapefruit League games. Here's the 2-1 pitch on the way, and that's swung on and fouled back. Originally, Austin Jackson was drafted and signed by the Yankees 5 years ago. He was always an extremely talented basketball player. Could have started at Georgia Tech as a basketball player, but the Yankees signed him, and he slices one foul down the right field line, and the count stays 2-2. A lot of people who watch Austin Jackson play, considering his baseball and basketball ability, compare him to Kenny Lofton. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. Billingsley into the windup, and the 2-2 pitch is fouled away again. Denton, Texas, home of Miss America, Phyllis George, who had quite a few years involved in major league sports. Young fella, 23 years old, and the 2-2 pitch swung on and fouled away again. So he's starting off making Billingsley work very, very hard. Austin in and out of the box. Great makeup, they say, as a player, always happy, smile on his face. And the 2-2 pitch to Austin Jackson is swung on, hit down the right field line, foul and out of play. So this already is an 8-pitch at bat for the leadoff man, Austin Jackson. Jackson has hit safely in 20 of his last 21 games on the road this year. Hitting .351 on the road. And the 2-2 pitch on the way, swung on and foul back. So Billingsley's getting tired of looking at him, and no doubt Jackson is getting tired of looking at Billingsley. Austin went to the Tigers in a blockbuster deal that sent Detroit center fielder Curtis Granderson to New York. Edwin Jackson, the Tigers right-hander, and Yankee Ian Kennedy to Arizona. The 2-2 pitch is lifted to left field. Manny a long way to come, and it's going to drop in front of him. And breezing into second base is Austin Jackson. So Austin Jackson, who runs very well, turns a fly ball single into a double. Manny playing on that bad foot couldn't get there. So let's take a look at the Dodgers defensively. An infield of Belliard and Green, Carroll and Blake, Ramirez, Kemp and Johnson, and the battery of Ellis and Billingsley. So a fly double to left field, and now Santiago, Ordonez, and Cabrera trying to pick him up. A 10-pitch at bat that was for the young center fielder Austin Jackson. The pitch to Santiago is inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Ramon Santiago holding down the shortstop role. He's from the Dominican Republic, signed by the Tigers over 10 years ago as a free agent, and he grounds one to the right side. A play there to first in time for the out by Nick Green, but a good at bat for Santiago because he moved his man along. So 1 out, a runner at third in Austin Jackson, and Maglio Ordonez coming up, and there are 5s in the dugout for Santiago. Maglio Ordonez had a bad foot, a little more than the heel. 36 years old, from Venezuela. A very hot hitter for the last 7 days and bubbling over for actually 2 weeks. Right-hand batter hitting .315, and he takes low, ball 1. One of the things he does very well is run the bases, and 5 times now he's gone from first to third on a base hit. 1 ball and no strikes. Trying to pick up his man at third, swings, doesn't get it, and the count 1-1. Ordonez, originally signed by the White Sox out of a tryout camp. He grew up in an old colonial city on the northern coast of Venezuela. His father spelt Maglio with 1 G. He said he gave him the extra G for good luck, and he takes low and inside. So 2-1 the count to Maglio Ordonez. Last year, he ended up the season with a 13-game hitting streak, hitting .490 during the streak. So that raised his average 30 points. Now he's trying to get Austin home, and he does with a long fly ball to right. Going back forward is Reed Johnson, tagging and breezing in easily is Jackson. So a fly ball double, a ground ball to third, and the fly ball to right field by Ordonez to pick up his man. And evidently, from what we've heard about the Tigers over there in the American League, that's exactly how they play. Timely hitting, move a man along, and then cash him in. One of the big stories is Miguel Cabrera. You may remember he played with the Marlins for 5 years. He takes a pitch low, ball 1. Cabrera broke down and confessed last year. He was having trouble with alcohol. He was having personal family problems. He got it all out and then vowed to change his life. He takes a strike and the count 1-1. Well, all he's doing now is hitting .340 with 9 home runs, 38 runs batted in, and on the road he's hitting .405. The 1-1 pitch on the way, and he backs off and takes a strike, 1-2. He's a big boy, 6'2",
checks in about 240, and he's from Maracay in Venezuela. The Cabrera with that .405 batting average on the road, waiting as Billingsley delivers, and it's popped up back of first base. Coming over is the second baseman Nick Green, and makes the catch for the out. So they get Cabrera, but not before they pick up Jackson. And at the end of half an inning, Tigers won. Dodgers coming up. Billingsley made 20 pitches, 10 of them to Austin Jackson. Here's the Dodger lineup: Carroll, Belliard, and Ramirez, Kemp, Blake, and Johnson, Green, Ellis, and Billingsley against the big left-hander Dontrell Willis. 6'4", a good 240. Born in Oakland, lives in Alameda, and was originally signed by the Cubs and came up with the Marlins. The big Dontrell deals, and the first pitch is high, ball 1-0. Dontrell Willis has had 3 losses saved this season, leaving the game trailing. The offense came back to get him off the hook, so his record is just 1-1. Next pitch in for a strike, and the count 1-1. He's been on the wild side. He has had a half a dozen 4-pitch walks. That puts him high up in the American League. And he has a lot of 3-0 counts. The next pitch in for a strike. So he's pitching the other way around right now to Jamie Carroll. Jamie Carroll hitting .318 while he was in there, taking over for Rafael Furcal. His overall batting average .290. Willis swings that right leg high in the air, and the fastball way outside, ball 2. So Jamie, who has turned in an absolutely marvelous job at shortstop, getting praise from just about everybody. And the breaking ball grounded wide of third. Brandon Lynch kicks it, and so Jamie Carroll is aboard. The routine ground ball, it wasn't hard hit at all. Only the second error that Brandon Lynch has made this year. It was only a surprise because it looked like such an easy play. He got his glove on it and dropped it while in the act of throwing. So Carroll is aboard on the error. The Dodgers now with the gift have the tying run aboard, nobody out. Belliard, Ramirez, and Kemp coming up against Willis. Dontrell set and delivers, and the pitch is strike as Ronnie ran up as if to take. Interesting thing about the Dodger lineup tonight, you have 6 fellas who played in the American League wearing the blue. And Belliard is one of them. And of course you have Ramirez, you have Blake, you have Johnson, you have Green. Here's the strike 1 pitch, and Carroll, of course, came over from Cleveland. So the 1-1 pitch inside to Belliard. So Dontrell Willis working hard. His mom, growing up, providing a great deal of support, is a welder, an iron worker. Here's the 1-1 pitch, swung on and fouled off, and the count 1-2. The big Dontrell never quite followed up his one great year. That was 2005 when he won 22 games for the Marlins, and his earned run average was 2.6. So Dontrell last year with the Tigers, with Lakeland, with Erie, with Toledo. Big left-handers. Next one is a one-hopper to second base, and the play by Worth to Santiago and back to Cabrera, and you have the double play. So a one-hopper, and Danny Worth stayed with it, and we have 2 down first inning. Tigers leading 1-0, and Manny Ramirez coming up. Here are the Tigers defensively: Cabrera, Worth, Santiago, and Inge, Bosch, Jackson, and Ordonez in the outfield. Willis and Avila behind the plate. So here is Manny. Now, Manny is one fella who has sparkled a couple of at-bats against Dontrell Willis, and he takes ball 1. 2 for 3 in his few at-bats against the left-hander. Dontrell was at his best in the National League when Manny was tearing up the American, and vice versa now. 1-0 pitch is a ground ball, diving stop by Danny Worth to throw him out. So a poor play at third, a fine play at second, and the Dodgers wind up coming up empty. And at the end of an inning, Tigers 1, Dodgers 0. Smartest and most respected managers in the game, certainly accustomed to crowds. Jim, one of 7 children, married Katie, who was one of 11 children, and Jim's father was one of 16 children. He's a big man indeed, and it's great to have him here. And the first pitch now to Brennan Bosch, fouled away 0-1. If anybody might have some butterflies in his stomach right now, it should be Brennan Bosch. Born in Santa Monica, went to Cal at Berkeley. Big left-hand batter, swings, fouls it back. Brennan was talking about the fact that his father, who is a very successful attorney here, his dad took him to Dodger Stadium when he was about 5 years old. He really admired Brett Butler, and at 5, sitting here at Dodger Stadium, Brennan Bosch said, "I want to be a Major League Baseball player." The strike 2 pitch is outside. Well, a lot of 5-year-olds say that, but it's paid off. And all Bosch is doing is hitting .354, 3 home runs, 19 runs batted in, and he is most dangerous when he is hitting behind in the count, which he is right now. But this time he swings and misses, and down he goes. Yeah, when he's hitting behind in the count, he was batting .414, but he went after a breaking ball in the dirt. So we have one away, 1-0 in favor of Detroit, and Brandon Inge coming up. I-N-G-E. Brandon dropping that ground ball while in the act of throwing. So he checks into the plate, right-hand batter. And the first pitch to Brandon, a shattered bat, ground ball to Jamie Carroll, who throws him out. It looked like the bat was going to follow the ball to Carroll, a huge sliver, but it wound up hooking a bit and landing at the feet of Casey Blake. So a broken bat, ground ball, 2 out here in the second inning, and Alex Avila coming up. The Dodgers, for years, have had a wonderful baseball man running their academy in the Dominican, Ralph Avila, and this is his grandson. Alex signed by the Tigers out of the University of Alabama. Left-hand hitter and takes low, ball 1, 1-0. By the way, he's also the son of Tigers assistant general manager Al Avila. To be signed in 2008 and playing in 2010, he's come in a hurry. He takes low. He has struggled with the bat. He's hitting only .164, 2 home runs, 2 RBIs. However, he has thrown out 6 of 14 would-be base stealers. So obviously a very good arm. The 2-0 pitch on the way, and Avila hits it in the air down the left field line, slicing as it goes foul and goes back into the stands, where a young man makes a great catch with his hat. 2-1 the count. And what really thrills him, not only catching the ball, but then giving it to his daughter. No greater gift for a father, to see the smile on her face. 2-1 the count to Alex Avila. He's 5'11", 210, 23 years old, born in Florida. Dad taught him to switch hit, but he's staying left-handed, swings and fouls it, and the count 2-2. Avila obviously not superstitious. Then again, maybe he is. He wears number 13. 2-2. They said that Alex swinging a bat when he was 2 years old. He swings and strikes out. So Billingsley strikes out 2, retires the side in order. And at the end of an inning and a half, 1-0 Detroit. inning. Matt Kemp, Casey Blake, and then Reed Johnson in that order. It is a very rare Dodger lineup tonight. Have to really go back to the books to see a Dodger lineup that had all 9 right-hand batters. Dontrelle Willis, the big left-hander, looks in, and Matt Kemp, hitting .281, takes off the plate. Ball 1, 1-0. Matt with 8 home runs, 25 runs batted in. Willis turns, now the 1-0 pitch, and that's high and away, ball 2. Dontrelle Willis is one of those easygoing, lovable guys, but he's also a terrific competitor. They tell a story about him going all the way back in Little League. 2-0 pitch on the way, hard ground ball to Hinge. Brandon stays with it and throws him out. So we have one away here in the second inning. Tigers lead 1-0, and Casey Blake coming up.
Third baseman,
when Dontrelle Willis was in Little League, he was going to pitch for his hometown of Alameda in a very important game. And on his way to the Little League ballpark, he suffered a nasty dog bite. Well, he had it taped up, went out to the mound, pitched, and won. The big left-hander's pitch to Casey Blake in for a strike. Casey hitting .263, 5 home runs, 24 runs batted in. Now the strike 1 pitch on the way to Casey, and that's another strike, 0-2. Casey Blake 1 for 6 against Willis. Brad Penny was his teammate in Florida, and Penny said if you don't like Dontrelle, you don't like people. Willis looks down, getting a sign. Boy, his mom must be something. A welder on high-rise buildings. Strike 2 pitch, high and away, ball 1, 1-2. And actually, his mom, Joyce, was an excellent softball player. She played first base, catcher, and after the game, she'd catch Dontrelle. He works a pitch almost in the dirt. 2-2 the count to Casey Blake. Dontrelle, 28 years old. Rookie of the Year in 2003. 2-2 pitch, fastball, low ball 3. In interleague play, Willis is 7-7, and against the Dodgers pitching here at Dodger Stadium, he's 0-2. Left-hander ready, Blake waits. 1-0 Tigers, second inning, and a ground ball to the right side. Danny Worth is up with it to take care of it. So we have 2 down in the second inning, and the batter will be Reed Johnson. Reed Johnson has not faced Dontrelle Willis in the past, though the right-hand batter who has very good numbers, especially against left-handers in his career. Overall batting .258, 5 runs batted in. Willis into his windup, left-hander's first pitch in for a strike. Coming into the game, Dontrelle had walked 22 and struck out 26, so you know he was fighting it. And we told you about the fact he had a lot of 3-0 counts. Strike 1 pitch is foul back. But those who follow Detroit all the time, they say you can tell about Willis in the first couple of innings. If he's walking people early, he's history. If he's throwing strikes and staying ahead of the hitters, you're going to have a tough night. Well, right now, he's throwing strikes. 0-2 the count. Willis, high kick, back with a pitch, fouled off. Still no balls and 2 strikes. Willis with that 85-mile-an-hour slider. The Detroit pitching staff has allowed 26 home runs. The team has hit 32. Willis nods yes. Dontrelle ready. Off speed breaking ball that just got away from the catcher. It spun right out of Avila's mitt. 1-2. So that spinner really must have been up there like a gyroscope. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Reed Johnson. Fly ball double by Austin Jackson, took third on a ground ball, scored on a fly ball, and the Tigers lead 1-0. And Reed Johnson, living up to his rep, a line drive single to center. He's a good hitter, and he's an exceptionally good hitter against left-hand pitching. So Johnson gets the Dodgers' first hit, and Nick Green coming up. Green 3 for 9 in the past against Dontrell and playing second base. Willis, in his days in the National League, had a high ERA, almost 6 here at Dodger Stadium. And the first pitch inside, ball 1, 1-0. One reason the Dodgers have an all right-handed lineup tonight is the fact that left-hand batters are hitting only .250 against Willis. The 1-0 pitch is a fastball popped up, and I mean up and up. It's Santiago, the shortstop, growing old, waiting, and makes the catch for the out. So for the Dodgers, no run, 1 hit, a man left. Dontrell walking off. Justin Verlander on the left. The middleman is young Rick Porcello and Jeremy Bonderman on the right. We will not see Verlander, but we will see Porcello on Sunday. Meanwhile, we'll see what's going on in the 3rd inning with the Tigers leading the Dodgers 1-0. And leading off, Danny Wirth, who promptly hits a hopper speared by Belliard, who takes it to the bag. And for Danny Wirth, another local boy, and I'm sure he would have loved to have had a base hit on that play. Danny was born in Northridge and went to school at Pepperdine. He was a number 2 pick. He was the starting shortstop even as a freshman. So Ronnie Belliard makes a fine pick to take a hit away from him. And now here is a good hitting pitcher, Dontrell Willis, who hits a towering fly ball to right, but it's playable. Reed Johnson's there, makes the catch. For Dontrell Willis, when we say he's a good hitting pitcher, when he was in the National League, Dontrell Willis had 8 home runs and 35 runs batted in. So he commands a great deal of respect, and he can still swing the bat. So we have 2 down, and the batter now will be Austin Jackson, who had that 10-pitch at bat in the first inning leading off, and then got a fly ball double. Took third as Santiago grounded out, and scored on Maglio Ordonez scoring fly ball to right field. So the 1-0 pitch on the way, down and away, ball 2, 2-0 the count. 1 run, 1 hit for the Tigers. They also have an error. No runs, 1 hit for the Dodgers. And we're in the 3rd. Game 1 of the 3-game series. The 2-0 pitch on the way. Fastball, and that's low. 3-0 the count. Tomorrow, Armando Galarraga and John Eli at 4:10. 3-0 pitch, and that's a strike. And then Sunday at 1:10, Rick Porcello and Hiroki Kuroda. So Eli alongside of Russell Martin, and that has to feel strange. Martin finally taking a game off. The 3-1 pitch is hit to the gap in right center. Charging it and having to have it drop is Reed Johnson. So a 2-out single by Jackson, and he's 2 for 2, and that will bring up Santiago. Say, be sure to remind you, bring the kids to Dodger Stadium Monday, May 31st. Dodgers D-backs, first 15,000 children 14 and under receive a Manny Ramirez batting practice jersey, compliments of Cacique. For tickets, call 866-DODGERS or visit Dodgers.com. Santiago grounded out, left-hand hitter, but it was an important ground ball. He was able to get Jackson over to third, and he scored on the fly ball. Jackson, standing over at first, has stolen 6 out of 7. The Tigers don't do a lot of running, but if they need it, Jackson's the one. The pitch is off the plate away to Santiago. 1 ball and no strikes. Santiago pumping that wood around now, settles it quietly from the Dominican. Throw to first. Jackson back on the bag. They say Santiago, another joy to have on a ball club. Loves to laugh, kid around until it's time to play. Jackson poised off the bag. Billingsley watching him. Still watching. Now comes to the plate, and it's high. 2 balls and no strikes. So Chad Billingsley working on Ramon Santiago. Last year, Santiago had a half a dozen home runs against right-handers and hit .267. The 2-0 pitch coming up, and he takes a high strike, and the count 2-1. Santiago has been rated with above average speed, so he'll put pressure on the infield. 2-1 the count to Ramon. Billingsley turns, throws to first. Austin Jackson jumps back on the bag. Jim Leland talking before the ball game, and he said it's a good club, and he said the veterans are playing well and the kids are really fun. Well, you have one of them at first and another hitting. 2-1 the count. Billingsley delivers, and that's in there for a strike, and the count 2-2. Ramon Santiago, 5'11", about 175, and he'll be 29, so he's not really a kid. Switch hitter, batting left-handed. The 2-2 pitch on the way. Jackson is poised and doesn't go, and the pitch misses for ball 3. 3-2. Santiago first came up to the Tigers in 2002, so Billingsley is working on an experienced ball player who at one time 6 years ago was released by the Mariners. Now the 3-2 with Jackson going is ball 4. So a base hit and a walk, and for Billingsley, he has avoided a problem inning only because of the play that Ronnie Belliard made on the ball hit by Danny Wirth. Otherwise, he'd really in a mess. So 2 on, 2 out, 1-0 Tigers. And here is Maglio Ordonez, 315, 5 home runs, 27 runs batted in. Right-hand hitter takes in the dirt, blocked by Ellis. 1 ball and no strikes. Ordonez, a solid hitter, hit .310 last year, .317 the year before, and he's hitting .315 now. He had some big years with the White Sox, hit as high as .320, and he hit as many as 38 home runs and 139 runs batted in. So he's got it all. For Billingsley, it looked like it was going to be an easy inning. He made 2 pitches and got 2 outs, Worth and Willis. But now he's made 12 pitches since, and he's in a little trouble. Ordonez, right-hand hitter, with 2 on and 2 out. Billingsley delivers, and that's slapped down the right field line. Johnson comes over and one-hands it in fair ground for the out. A nice defensive play by Reed Johnson. No runs, a hit, 2 left, and at the end of 2.5, 1-0 Tigers. Bottom of the 3rd inning, A.J. Ellis, Chad Billingsley, and Jamie Carroll against Dontrell Willis. Ellis, right-hand batter, out of Cape Girardeau in Missouri, and takes a strike, and they count 0-1. Went to school at Austin PA School at the university. Lives in Lexington, Kentucky, and finally gets a chance to play. Strike 1 pitch is taken in there, 0-2. Russell Martin caught 21 consecutive games, 324 innings, and finally got a day off, and I'm sure Torrey had to sit on him to keep him out of the lineup tonight. Strike 2 pitch on the way, and Ellis takes high. And of course, all ball players love to play, especially when things are going well. And of course, Martin has really been playing well and has a 15-game hitting streak. Now the 1-2 pitch to A.J. Ellis, 6'3", 230, and hits a hopper to the right side to Danny Worth, and the pride of Pepperdine throws him out. 1 away. So Ellis hits it sharply, 1 out, and Chad Billingsley coming up. Dontrell Willis made headlines, not the kind you want to make. Back in 2003, he was heading home in his car when the rear tire blew out. The pitch to Billingsley fouled away. He was doing the legal 65 miles an hour on a 4-lane road, and when the rear tire blew out, the car hit the guardrail, and the car flipped, they said, 5 times. He said the only thing left in the car was his baseball equipment and his Bible. The pitch is high. Dontrell said that's perspective. Baseball equipment and his Bible. 1-1 the count. Big left-hander back, and Billingsley fouls it to the screen. 1-2. One away in the third. Tigers 1, Dodgers nothing. The only run, Austin Jackson, a fly ball double in the first inning to left field. Santiago grounded out, getting him over to third, and Ordonez's fly ball scored him, and that's it. Willis throwing strikes, and it's bad news for the Dodgers. And the pitch to Billingsley, a breaking ball is in there for strike 3 call. So 2 down, and the batter Jamie Carroll. A reminder, the Dodgers honor their starting outfield with a series of collectible toys to give away Thursday, June 3rd. First 15,000 kids receive a Matt Kemp action figure, compliments of the California Table Grape Commission. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com or call 866-DODGERS. Jamie Carroll hit a routine ground ball to Brandon Inge, who fielded it and then dropped it, and Jamie was aboard. He takes a breaking ball down and in, ball 1. Carroll 8 for 24 coming into the game, 333, hitting against Dontrell Willis. The 1-0 pitch, and Jamie looks at a strike. 1-1. 4 o'clock game tomorrow, remember. And then the usual 1 o'clock on Sunday. The 1-1 fastball is fouled off, and the count 1-2. Carroll batting with Ronnie Belliard on deck. Dontrell from the third base side of the pitching rubber. And his 1-2 pitch on the way is half swing, strike 3, off speed pitch, and Carroll is caught looking, and down he goes. So at the end of 3, Tigers 1, Dodgers nothing. Experience Lowe's Let's Build Something Together. And by your Southern California Ford dealers, where you'll find the new Transit Connect. Check it out at scforddealers.com. Tigers holding on to a 1-0 lead on a lovely evening here at Dodger Stadium. It'll be Miguel Cabrera, Brennan Bosch, and then Brandon Inge. Cabrera popped up in the first inning and pops up another one. And going out is Green looking for help, and Reed Johnson comes in and picks it off. So Cabrera doesn't hang around. First pitch pop fly. And here's Brennan Bosch coming up. The local boy from Santa Monica who fell in love with baseball as a 5-year-old here at Dodger Stadium. his dad and family here, and his first at bat, he struck out. Isn't that life? And he pops it up. Coming in and over is Casey Blake. So 2 pitchers and 2 out. Not a bad inning. But that's exactly what happened in the third after he got Worth and Willis. So with 2 down, Brandon Inge coming up. Inge grounded to short in the second inning. To repeat, San Diego is playing up in Seattle. The Giants are playing across the bay in Oakland. Ball 1. Brandon Inge kicked when he was in high school playing football. Takes a strike. Before one time in spring training, several of the players got a football and tried to kick field goals, and Brandon kicked a 40-yarder shoeless. Ball 2, 2-1. For Inge, he hits a lot of fly balls, and of course, hitting the ball up in the air, he has to hope he's going to hit a home run. I mean, a lot of fly balls. Don't you know he grounded out first time, but there's an Inge fly ball deep to left. Manny on the track, Manny at the wall. Manny can't catch it. Matt Kemp does, and Inge is into second base with a double. Well, Brandon Inge, a double to the gap in left center. The ball was so high that, to be honest, you expect it to be caught. But Manny, going to the track, then running parallel, just was about 2 feet away from it when it hit the ground. He looked at the wall. He didn't have to worry about the wall because, as we say, he was running alongside of it. So Inge, last year, hit 175 fly balls. 27 of them were home runs, so 15%. So tonight he hits the fly ball and he doubles. And here's Avila, the catcher. Ball 1. Avila struck out in the second inning. Alex 0 for 1. The Tigers finished second last year. They won 86. And they would appear to be improved, and they are tied with Minnesota on this date. 1-1 the count to Alex Avila. For Jim Leyland, quiet, soft-spoken, been with Pittsburgh, been with Florida, been with Colorado. Decided to spend time with his family and left baseball for about 6 years. And then realized the love call was too strong, and he came back to manage Detroit. Strike. Dave Dombrowski of Detroit and Jimmy go way back. And when Leland got the call, here he is. Inge at second, 2 out in the fourth, 1-0 Detroit. Avila was playing most of the time in the minor leagues last year. As we said, he was signed out of the University of Alabama in 2008, and he was playing in the big leagues in 2009. Back last year, he had 5 home runs, 14 runs batted in, and hit .279. Remarkable for a first-year player coming right out of college. 1-2. 2-2. A left-handed hitting catcher. That's kind of a nice property to have. Avila said that his dad wanted him to switch hit. Always wanted him to be a switch hitter, and he was that way all through college. And then he said, I kind of forgot how to hit right-handed. So he's a left-handed hitting catcher. 2-2. 1-0 Tigers, fourth inning. 3-2. Danny Worth waiting on deck. Worth robbed of a hit by Ronnie Belliard in the third inning. 3-2. And ball 4. So again, interesting that it would happen in back-to-back innings. In the third inning, Danny Worth and Dontrell Willis went out on 2 pitches. And then it took 13 more pitches to get the third out. Here in the fourth inning, he got Cabrera and Bosch on 2 pitches. Now he's given up a double and a walk, and it's 11 pitches after the 2 out. So here's Danny, robbed by Belliard. Tried a Pepperdine. Off the plate, ball 1. Danny was a second-round pick by the Tigers in '07, so he's made rapid progress. After looking at Alan Trammell play shortstop, that's a lot of pressure to come over college campus, and they eventually moved him to second base. Danny hitting .364, 2 runs batted in. With the Tigers last year, he really didn't get a look. 1-1. Ball 2, 2-1. So Billingsley, back-to-back strange innings to get 2 quick outs and then labor. Waiting on deck, Dontrell Willis, a good hitting pitcher. 2-1 to Danny Worth. Ground ball to short. Carroll, the quick feed. That'll be that. So no runs, 1 hit, 2 left. And at the end of 3.5 innings, it remains. Or never. Text your answer to 86212 on your cell phone. It'll be fun to find out what you think. Well, I know one thing about the Padres, what they think of the Seattle Mariners. It was left-hander Wade LeBlanc against left-hander Cliff Lee, and the Mariners scored 7 runs in the second inning. That's a strike to Belliard. So it's the top of the third. Mariners 7, Padres 2. Belliard grounded into a double play in the first inning, and a little ground ball to Santiago. 1 away. So Dontrell Willis, who has struggled in the past, coming in here 1-1. But he's throwing strikes. And for the Dodgers, that's bad news as Manny Ramirez coming up. Manny Ramirez grounded to Danny Worth back in the first inning, batting .347. Fastball pulled to third. Nice big hop for Inge. 2 down. So the Dodgers don't waste any time. Belliard and Ramirez tap out. And the batter is Matt Kemp. Matt Kemp grounded to third in the second inning. The Dodgers killing a lot of worms so far. There had been one pop fly off the bat of Nick Green that was caught by Santiago, the shortstop. Everything else on the ground. And ball 1. Dontrelle wearing uniform number 21. He wore 15 all through high school and the minor leagues. Then when he dressed before his first major league game, he found uniform number 35 hanging in his locker. So he said, I'm a rookie. I just take what they give me. And then 2 days later, Willis found out where his number had gone. Jack McKeon was introduced as the new Marlin skipper wearing number 15. Right, 1 and 2. Matt Kemp 0 for 1, hitting .280. 2 and 2 the count. To repeat, the only run, Austin Jackson, a fly ball double to left. Santiago grounded him over to third, and Maglio Ordonez, a fly ball to right, picked him up. And that's it. 1-0 Tigers, bottom of the 4th, 2 out. Off speed, fouled away. Little curveball in the low 70s. Two and 2. And ball 3. Down in Florida, when Dontrelle Willis pitched for the Marlins, whenever he would pitch, they called it the D train. And they built a cardboard locomotive in the right field stands to honor him. Kemp, meanwhile, a line drive base hit. That is the Dodgers' second hit. Reed Johnson singled with 2 out in the second, and now Kemp singles with 2 out in the 4th. One thing for Willis, he's only had 2 3-ball counts so far tonight, and as we told you, he had 3-0 counts 13 times in previous starts. So he's been throwing strikes. Casey Blake grounded out to second inning, 0 for 1. Ball 1. So the D train stops here. The D in this case, half Dontrelle and half Detroit. 1 ball and no strikes. 2-0 the count. Matt Kemp over there at first base with his 6 stolen bases, but remember, he's been caught 8 times. As many times he was caught all last year. Held on at first by Miguel Cabrera. 2 balls and no strikes, 2 down, 1-0 Tigers in the 4th. And that gets away from Avila, and down to second goes Matt Kemp. We'll see how they rule it. hard slider that just danced off the glove. Right low and in. Right at the feet of Casey Blake. Dontrell Willis coming in had one wild pitch, so now he has two. Casey trying to pick up Kemp and even it up. That's a strike. And there was that 3-0 count that's caused him a lot of trouble over in the American League. 3-1. Very high. So his first walk on the heels of a wild pitch. And the batter will be Reed Johnson, who, as we have said, does very well against left-handers. And Rick Knapp, the pitching coach for Jim Leyland, going out to the mound. So Willis, for the last 2 years, all you have to do is look at that one number, 63 walks. And you know he's been fighting it. And now he has taken a page out of Chad Billingsley. See him pat his catcher on the back? That's funny. Normally a pitcher's in trouble and it's the catcher who pats the hang in there. Instead Willis pats the catcher on the back. So Reed Johnson at the plate. In this inning, Willis got the first 2 outs on 3 pitches, and he has labored for 12 more. So Billingsley empathizes with that. And here's Johnson, who singled in the second inning. Reed hitting .269, 5 runs batted in. Ball 1. Willis has 1 strikeout and 1 walk, so that means he's walked 23 and struck out 27. Matt Kemp at second, Casey Blake at first, 2 out. San Diego losing 7-2 in Seattle. And ball 2. So the Dodgers hoping the D train will derail itself. Jim Leyland sweating him out a little bit. 2-0 the count. Dodgers trying to win their 100th game in interleague play. They were 9-9 last year. And he missed again. So there it is, another 3-0 count for Dontrell Willis. They're moving around in the Tiger bullpen, but there isn't anybody throwing back of him. Three balls and no strikes. In there. Took a lot off that pitch. His fastball suddenly at 84. Three balls, 1 strike. 3-2. That was an off-speed pitch, and Johnson way out in front of the chain. Dontrell won 22 games in 2005. The next year he won 12. The next year he won 10. And the next thing you know, he was in the minor leagues. Show you what will happen in the big leagues. 3-2 the count. Runners ready to go. And it's foul back. Willis keeping the ball away from Reed Johnson. They'll crank him up again. Kemp from second, Blake from first. Padres picked up 2 in the top of the 3rd inning, so the Mariner lead is 7-4. Up there, light rain, 48 degrees. How do you do? 3-2. No pitch. Willis, by the way, working a little hard here. This will be his 22nd pitch. He got Belliard and Ramirez on 3, but then Kemp single, Blake walk. 3-2 to Reed Johnson. Runners go, And it's popped in the air, foul behind the plate. Avila comes back, no play. Willis keeping the ball up on Reed Johnson, up and away. A lot of those pitches, I think, are borderline. And with 2 strikes in this kind of a spot, Reed Johnson can't afford to gamble and take. So he's fouled off several just about in the same area. Up and away. Runners ready, runners go. And that's going to be going foul down the right field line and wind up back in the stands. Nice crowd on hand. You'd have to guess somewhere over 40,000 taking in the ball game on a lovely evening. Maybe you'll make your plans and be with us tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow's game at 4:10, Armando Galarraga and John Eli. Remember, Eli has faced 84 consecutive batters without walking one. And then on Sunday, Rick Porcello and Hiroki Kuroda. 3-2. Once again, Kemp and Blake at the ready with 2 out. There they go. And very high. He kept the ball up on Johnson all the way. So the bases are loaded. And the batter will be Nick Green. But Jim Leyland, I'm sure, thinking, uh-oh. Now he's doing what I worried about. He's starting to walk people after a very strong first 3 innings. He faced only 10 men, gave up 1 hit, then got the first 2 outs in the 4th, and then Kemp singled, wild pitch, Blake walked, Johnson walks, and here is Nick Green, who popped up 0 for 1. And again, he's high and away. Rick Knapp, remember, has already been out there. 1-0 the count. And Gene Lamont getting on the phone to the bullpen. Line drive, foul. Boy, that thing was hit crisply. 1-1 the count in that. So with the bases loaded, 2 out, Nick Green trying to pick up somebody. He was all over that pitch. Nick, originally signed by the Braves, played for the Devil Rays, for the Yankees and the Mariners and the Red Sox. So he's seen Dontrell along the way. And the pitch at his feet, did it hit him? Yes, and that forces over a run. Dontrell Wallace hollering, no, no. And the plate umpire said it hit his foot. Jim Leyland is coming out to talk to Brian Gorman. And everybody moved up 90 feet. And Jim wanted to make sure. Did it? And Gorman said got his foot. I remember years and years ago in a World Series game, there was a big debate about whether a ball hit the batter's foot, and they were looking for shoe polish, and sure enough, there was shoe polish on it. So Green, hit by the pitch, picks up a run batted in. Dodgers have the bases loaded, and here is A.J. Ellis, and he takes a strike. Ellis grounded out in the 3rd inning. On deck, Chad Billingsley. We have a 1-1 tie in the 4th. Fouled away. So Ellis finds himself in a hole 0-2. Boy, it's so hard to play this game at this level, period. But when you don't play, it is so hard to play. And that's A.J. Ellis's problem. Meanwhile, Willis is having a problem making too many pitches. This will be his 30th pitch. 1-2. All this with 2 out. I mean, he got Belliard and Ramirez on 3 pitches. Then Kemp singled. A wild pitch put into second. Blake and Johnson walked. Green hit by a pitch, and the Dodgers have tied it. And Ellis, a line drive speared by Danny Worth. So A.J. Ellis hits it right on the screws and right at Worth. And the Dodgers. Black Angus beef by Southwest. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. And by Chrysler. Visit us at chrysler.com or see your local dealer today. Fifth inning on a beautiful evening, a 1-1 tie with Detroit. And Dontrell Willis, a good hitter, starting it off. Ball one. Willis to repeat. Over here as a National League pitcher, 8 home runs, 35 runs batted in. Could be rusty playing in the American League now where the pitcher does not go up there. 1-1 the count to Dontrell Willis. Two and one. Dontrell, 28 years old. And another high fly ball to right field. So one away in the fifth inning. And the batter will be Austin Jackson. Couple of scores to report on. Former Padre catcher Josh Bard, now with the Mariners, hit a home run in the bottom of the third. So the Mariners lead the Padres 8-4. Meanwhile, the A's are leading the Giants and Barry Zito 3-0 in the fifth. So the Dodgers, remember, began the night one game behind San Diego and a half a game in front of San Francisco. Fouled away. 0-2 the count to Austin Jackson. Jackson 2 for 2. Fly ball double. Line drive single. Jackson has struck out 48 times, make it 49. Two down, and Ramon Santiago coming up. One of the better ideas that baseball had several years ago was to homogenize the umpiring staff. Forever, it seemed, you umpired in the National League or you umpired in the American League. And they used to always say that the National League umpire would give you the low pitch. They based that on the fact there was one big difference between the umpires in the league. In the National League, the plate umpire wore an interior chest protector. The American League wore what they used to call a mattress. It was a big inflatable chest protector that he wore outside the uniform. And so the feeling was, well, in the American League, the plate umpire couldn't see the low ball because of that big mattress. Fly ball to right center. Matt Kemp coming in a hurry to make the play. Highlight film for sure. Robbing Ramon Santiago. And for the second time in 5 innings, thanks to the catch, Billingsley retires the side in order, and it's still a 1-1 tie. Yard against Dontrell Willis. Willis coming off a 31 pitch inning. Strike. Off speed, grounded to third. Hinge up with it. One away. You know, Dodger fans can enjoy the excitement of Viva Los Dodgers every Sunday in the next fiesta scheduled for this Sunday, presented by State Farm. The party begins at 11 a.m., includes a pregame concert by Salvador Santana. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com or call 866-DODGER. So Billingsley taps to third, one away. Jamie Carroll reached on an error, struck out. Ball one. When Dontrell Willis was Rookie of the Year back in 2003, he won 14 games, but he actually won 8 of his first 10 career starts. And that linked him up with Fernando Valenzuela, Mark Fidrich, and Paul Dean, Dizzy's brother. 2-0. In there. One of 4 since 1920. 2-1 the count. Ball 3. Willis pitching very, very well, limiting the Dodgers to 2 hits. 3-2. 2 walks, a wild pitch, and then a hit batter. And the Dodgers rallied for 1. And there's ball 4 to Jamie Carroll. So again, the Dodgers trying to be patient against Dontrelle Willis. The 31 pitch didn't help. And now Carroll makes him pitch. Ronnie Belliard grounded into a double play, grounded to short. Belliard 0 for 2. He was 3 for 12 at the start of the game against Willis. 1-1, bottom of the 5th, 1 away. Ball 1, nice save. Avila gloving that one. Carroll looking over at Larry Boa. Goes Belliard. It's kind of tough to put a play on when you have a pitcher who's off the plate a lot, and Willis has been off the plate last inning or so. One ball, no strikes. 1 run, 3 hits for the Tigers. 1 run, 2 hits for the Dodgers. 1-1. Dontrelle raising that right leg. Not very many pitchers who have that kind of a flashy style anymore. And of course, he can't raise it too much with a runner at first. But he really kicks it up when the bases are empty. Over the years, the so-called windup and the stretch has changed dramatically. Ball 2. I mean, in the old days, with the bases empty, pitcher would have both feet on the rubber, and he would go into a complete windup. Some looked like they were about ready to fly away. But over the years, the windup kept shrinking and shrinking. Pitcher's control appeared to be getting better. 2-1. Very close. Big boys come up in the 6th inning for Detroit. Ordonez, Cabrera, and then Bosch. 2-1 to Robbie. See if they put a play on. Nope. And it's going to be lined down the right field line. That'll go in the corner. Larry Boa is waving and waving and stopping Jamie. Good thing he did on a double by Ronnie Belliard. The Belliard takes one of those up and away fastballs and hits it into right field for a double. Good relay from Ordonez to Worth, and then on to home plate. Perfect throw, but Boa with 1 out, keeping Carroll at 3rd. And now here's Manny. 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. Grounded to 2nd, grounded to 3rd. Everybody back with the exception of Cabrera. Miguel is about even with the bag at first. 1-1, 5th inning. And throws it away. What an unusual delivery that was. Dontrelle Willis not only raised the leg, but it looked like he was going to fall backwards. That was really, maybe he was trying to get a little something extra. But that was really, let's see if we can see it. Boy, upstairs it was remarkable. There, you see him? It almost looked like he was going to fall down. Like a big statue caught in the wind, and he throws it away. His 2nd wild pitch. And the Dodgers take a 2-1 lead. The infield now plays up with Belliard at 3rd. And Manny in and out of the box. 1 ball and no strikes to Manny Ramirez. 2-1 Dodgers. Now that time Willis did not bend back. That was the normal delivery. That pitch he made to Ronnie Belliard, that was really unusual. see, that's fine. Pretty good balance. I guess that other pitch, he wanted to get something extra. 1-1. One and two. He doesn't throw that fastball in very often. He'll throw sliders down and in, but most of the fastballs are up and away. Meanwhile, Ronnie Belliard, 90 feet away. 1 out. That's that breaking ball that he almost threw away. 2-2 the count. Tim Leland getting restless now. He has a couple of men up in the pen. 2-2 with Manny Ramirez. On deck, Matt Kemp. One hopper off the glove and on out into left field. Scoring easily is Belliard. They call third base the hot corner, and Brandon Inge would understand. Boy, was that blistered. You talk about too hot to handle. That just exploded. And then Karen into shallow left. So for Manny, a single drives in Belliard. Dodgers now lead 3-1. And the batter will be Matt Kemp. I see a ball hit that hard, and I think back to those days when we played this game a lot on AstroTurf, and I shuddered. Good changeup, 0-1. And of course, with all that motion, the leg kick, the twist, the lean, the long arms, and then to come up with a soap bubble, hard to pick it off. 0-2. Still only 1 out. Billingsley grounded out. Carroll walked on a 3-2 pitch. Belliard doubled into third. A wild pitch scored Carroll, and Ramirez singles off Inge to score Belliard. And the Dodgers lead 3-1. Little ground ball on for one. There's the easy double play. However, the Dodgers scramble for two, and at the end
Let's go to this one.
Dodgers take a 3-1 lead into the 6th inning, and the big boys coming up. A strike to Ordonez, who had a scoring fly ball, and then pulled one down, actually sliced one down the right field line, and Reed Johnson made a nice running catch. Maglio hitting .313. Ground ball picked nicely by Jamie Carroll to get him. One away as Jamie continues to play great, solid shortstop. As far as Rafael Furcal is concerned, they say they're going to send him to expanded spring training tomorrow. Let him play a game there. That means, I'm sure, over in Arizona. That's a strike. And if all goes well, they'll then have the option to activate him Sunday or on the road trip. Joe says that he said, meaning Furcal, he's ready to go. Fouled away. Torrey said we want to get him into game conditions and validate that. But boy, I'll tell you one thing, you lose a star in your lineup, and a star is born the way Jamie Carroll's been playing. Ground ball to the hole, backhanded by Jamie. 2 down. And now the local boy.
Number 26, Brennan Bosch.
Brennan Bosch coming up. Brennan at 6'6" and 210. Went to Cal. 0-1. When Bosch was growing up and was in high school, people compared him to a younger Sean Green. 0-2. Early in spring training, Bosch suffered a cut on his face from a fly ball that hit him during the Tigers' first exhibition game. I mean, it nailed him. It required 11 stitches. 8 on the outside, 3 inside, and now he makes his parents and family happy as he singles up the middle.
How about third baseman number 15?
So a 2-out single will bring up Brandon Inge. Brandon Inge grounded to short, double to left center, committed an error, and then had that explosive ground ball come off the bat of Manny Ramirez and eat him up. Two out, 3-1 Dodgers in the 6th. And a strike, 0-1. You know, the only American League team that improved their winning percentage more from the 8th to the 9th inning than the Tigers was the Yankees last year. 1-1. Chad Billingsley had a 20-pitch first inning, but he's moved along nicely ever since. 1 ball and 1 strike. Inside corner. Bosch at first, 2 out. 3-1 Dodgers, top of the 6th. Fouled away. Bosch at first base, 1 for 1 in stolen bases. 1-2. 2-2. Dodgers 3, Tigers 1, top of the 6th. Fastball got him on the inside corner. Great pitch. Wow. No runs, 1 hit, a man left. And at the end of 5.5 innings. We asked, do you think they should play interleague games every season, every other season, or never? 64% of you, the early voting says every season. 29% never. 7% every other. Don't forget, text your answer 86212 on your cell phone, and we'll give you the final tally. And here goes Dontrell, a strike. Willis giving up 2 in the 5th inning. Actually, in the 4th. The 2 walks and a hit batter really hurt him, and then 2 more in the 5th on the key double by Belliard. This will probably be Willis' last inning. He's due to bat 3rd when the Tigers hit in the 7th. Brad Thomas, a left-hander. Eddie Bonine, a right-hander, throwing in the Detroit bullpen. Foul back. One and 2 to Casey Blake. Willis not throwing exceptionally hard at all. That last fastball was only 85. He's made 90 pitches coming into the inning. Off-speed breaking ball, but not much break to it. 2-2 to Casey Blake. Reed Johnson and Nick Green to follow. An all right-hand hitting lineup for the Dodgers. And a drive to left. Back goes Bosch to the wall to pick it off. Nice play for Brennan. Long out, 1 away. I can only imagine what Brennan Bosch is thinking about out there. I mean, imagine he came here with his dad. He was 5 years old. He just thought Brett Butler was a terrific player, a scrappy player. He was right. And he thought to himself, someday I'm going to play baseball here like every other 5-year-old. Only he made it. And here he is, the kid from Santa Monica. Foul back. 0-1. That was called a changeup, and the gun said it was 83. but the fastball was 85. 0-1. And that's probably stroked into left field, base hit. So Johnson is 2 for 2 singles and a walk. He has always put up good numbers, especially against left-handers. Willis talking to Danny Worth, the second baseman. And Nick Green checking in. Johnson is 1 for 2 in stolen bases. Nick Green doesn't play very much. He is 0 for 2 tonight, 0 for 7 for the year. And he bangs it into center. Hesitating was Johnson, and he'll have to stop at second for sure. So with one out, back-to-back singles and hit hard, too, to left and to center. You know, you can follow the Dodgers on your iPhone, iPod Touch, BlackBerry, and Android phone with MLB.com at Bat 2010, featuring play-by-play, video highlights, live audio broadcast. Visit Dodgers.com today for more details. That might be, yes it is, the end for Dontrelle Willis. With one out, 2 hard singles, and he has to come out, trailing 3-1. We'll be back. Time Warner. Get TV, internet, and home phone delivered over an advanced fiber optic network from Time Warner Cable. Call 888-TW-CABLE. By Farmer John. Get the hot dog you eat at the game at home. And by Dodge. Visit us at Dodge.com or see your local dealer today. The Dodgers leading 3-1. Eddie Bonine with that mohawk hairdo coming out of the pen. By the way, the Tiger bullpen, 11-4, an earned run average of 2.5 in 137 innings. And Bonine with an ERA of 1.5 and a perfecto 3-0. So Eddie will face Ellis, then Billingsley and Carroll, with Johnson at second, Green at first, and one out. Slides it in there for a strike. Fastball. He also has a knuckle curveball. Ellis 0 for 2 last time up. Hit a bullet right at Danny Worth, the second baseman. On deck, Chad Billingsley. Fastball flared, and that's going to drop. So here comes Johnson to score. Holding at second is Green as the throw gets back, and Inge is there to grab it. And the Dodgers lead 4-1. So A.J. Ellis, and of course that's the baseball philosophy to keep your sanity. They say it all evens out. He hit a shot, and Worth caught it. He hits a little pop fly, and he gets a base hit and a run batted in. So 4 runs, 7 hits. That run is charged to Dontrell Willis. So still 2 on. Green at second base belongs to Willis, and Billingsley might be up there bunting with 1 out. He sure is. Pops it in the air, caught, and no further play. So Bonine catches the bunt, and the batter will be Jamie Carroll. Eddie Bonine out there on the mound, a Georgia boy, originally drafted by the Padres out of the University of Nevada. He never made it to San Diego, but he was selected out of the Padre organization, Rule 5 draft, and came up in 07 into the Pirate organization and made it to the big club in 08. Ball 1 to Jamie Carroll, reached on an error, struck out, walked, scored a run on a wild pitch. Dodgers 4 runs, 7 hits, and the Tigers 1 run, 4 hits. Nick Green at second, A.J. Ellis at first. 2 out. In there. Last year, left-handers hit .299 with 3 home runs against Bonine, and right-handers hit .317. And he's doing a lot better this year. 3-0, ERA 1.5. The opposition is hitting .192. So what a dramatic change for a right-hander from last year to this. Drop that in there. That's that knuckle curve. 1-2. You know, you do something in the low minors and your reputation carries to the big club. A couple of years ago, Bonine was pitching for the Toledo Mud Hens, and he had a major case of the flu. He insisted on pitching, and he was bombed. They spun him around, but his manager was quite impressed, and the word came out. He's a gutty pitcher. Little roller to Inge. Brandon takes care of it. So the inning is over, but not before the Dodgers get 3 hits and a run, and at the end of 6 lead Detroit as we move to the 7th inning with the Dodgers holding on to a 4-1 lead. Alex Avila, Danny Worth, and then we'll see about a hitter for Bonine. And Chad Billingsley, who struggled all year and did not make it to the 7th inning until his last time out against San Diego, when he won 7 1/3 and pitched that magnificent 1-0 victory. Ball 1. Chad has allowed 1 run, 4 hits, walk 2, not overpowering, but throwing a lot of strikes. Chad 4 strikeouts in his 6 innings. Dontrell Willis 5 1/3, 4 runs, 7 hits. Ball 3. So Ellis out to talk to Chad. The bottom of the lineup for Detroit has not done much damage at all throughout the year. So this is the time for a pitcher like Billingsley to really catch up. If you look at the 7th, 8th, and 9th hitters in the Tiger lineup, not just tonight, the whole year, they're hitting 201, 178, and 237. Of course, the top of the order, 1 through 5, that's another story. 337, 312, 333, 327. Ground ball to the hole. Nice pick there by Nick Green. 1 away. So Avila grounds out. And the batter, Danny Worth. Well, a couple of scores up in Seattle. They're in the 5th inning, and the Mariners are sinking the Padres 13-4. In the Bay Area, the A's are leading the Giants 4-1 in the 7th inning. So here's Danny Worth, robbed of a hit by Belliard, hit into a force play, 0 for 2. Don Kelly, left-hand hitter, is out on deck. Tigers have a very good offensive team, and we stress that because it shows you how well Chad Billingsley has pitched as Kelly waits. 1-1. Ball 2. Fouled away. 2-2. Down in the Dodger bullpen, the Dodgers have Hung-Chi Kuo loosening up. 1 out, 7th inning. Billingsley had made 87 pitches coming into this inning. 2-2. And ball 3. Little ground ball. Blake kind of caught him between hops, but he still gets him. Good play. Now Don Kelly, a left-hand batter. He lives in Pittsburgh. He was born in Butler, Pennsylvania, and was signed by the Tigers, an 8th-round pick out of college, and came up to Detroit last year, hit .250. Born and raised in Pittsburgh, and of course Jim Leland from Pennsburg lived in Pittsburgh. 0-1. So to wind up with Jim in his first big league at bat in an exhibition game, he hit a home run against Pittsburgh, his hometown. 100 pitches now for Chad Billingsley. 1-1. Fouled away. 1-2. Don Kelly, 6'4", 195. 30 years old. Off speed, a change, but it floated away. 2-2 the count. So Billingsley gets to the 7th inning for back-to-back games after struggling to get there early part of the year. Breaking ball fouled away. Boy, that was a good curveball. After over 100 pitches, he broke off a dandy. Still 2-2 to Don Kelly. Kelly as a pinch hitter, 1 for 3. Off speed, 3-2, and the leadoff man, Austin Jackson, out on deck. Belisario is up now in the Dodger bullpen instead of Quo. This is a big pitch for Billingsley. And it's a very big pitch. Strike 3. Down goes Kelly. A fine 7 innings for Chad Billingsley. The crowd now will be asked to stand for California Lexus dealer who invites you to test drive a luxurious Lexus today. Visit Lexus.com. and by Wells Fargo. Together, we'll go far. We go to the bottom of the 7th inning with the Dodgers beating the Tigers 4-1, and it'll be Ronnie Belliard, followed by Manny Ramirez, and then Matt Kemp. For Chad Billingsley, he's made 105 pitches. Brad Thomas out of Sydney, Australia. Left-hander ready now and working on Belliard. And a strike, 0-1. Thomas 1-0. ERA of over 4.5. He lives in Seven Hills, Australia, and was originally signed by the Dodgers. Belliard drills it foul into the chairs, and a no-ball, 2-strike count. Belliard grounded into a double play, grounded to short, and then in the 5th inning, a key inning, double to right field to set up 2 runs. 0-2. Now the strike 2 pitch on the way. Fastball pulled over to the hole. Backhanded there at short by Santiago to take care of him. And we have 1 away here in the 7th inning. And the batter will be Manny Ramirez. Ramirez grounded hard to Danny Wood, grounded hard to Brandon Inge, and then almost took Inge apart with a savage ground ball that kicked away off into left field for a base hit and a run batted in. It's interesting that Brad Thomas should come in and stand on the mound at Dodger Stadium. Left-hander ready and deals a strike. Brad says that he watched Kirk Gibson's home run on TV in his native Australia back in 1988, and he said it was the first time he had ever seen a Major League Baseball game. The strike 1 pitch, Manny takes at the shoe tops, and a 1-1 pitch. Brad's a big boy, 6'4", 230. Signed by the Dodgers in 1995, never made it here. Surfaced with the Twins for a couple of years, and now here he is with Detroit. The 1-1 pitch, Manny pokes it on the ground to the right side. Danny Worth is right there, and just like that, Thomas comes in and gets 2 ground balls. I would guess that when Brad Thomas got here, the first thing he probably did is say exactly where did Kirk Gibson hit that ball. And I'm sure somebody in that dugout is able to point it out to him. So here's Matt Kemp, grounded to third, single to left, and hit into a double play. Yep, that's where he hit it. So Brad ready, left-handed deals, fastball for a strike, and the count 0-1. Matt made a circus catch on a ball hit by Santiago in the 5th inning. The strike 1 pitch is in there. 0-2. Tigers have the top of the order in the 8th inning. Jackson, Santiago, and Ordonez. Good fastball, foul tipped, and Avila held on to it. So a 1-2-3 inning. Very impressive for Brad Thomas. Chad Billingsley calls it a night. control, and it cost him 4 runs. Nick Green, who had been 0 for 2, got his first Dodger hit. A.J. Ellis also had a base hit and a run batted in. So the Dodgers 4 runs, 7 hits, and the Tigers 1 run. It came in the first inning. They have only 4 hits. James Loney now takes over for Ronnie Belliard at first base. With Loney and Belisario coming into the game at the same time, Belisario figures to go in Belliard's spot. Loney would then bat 9th and have an at-bat if you get to the 9th inning. Austin Jackson, a pop fly double to left, single to right, scored the only run, and struck out. Hitting .335. For Detroit, it's kind of a tale of 2 cities as far as their lineup is concerned. Jim Leyland has very good hitters 1 through 5, and then it really tails off the bottom of the lineup. Ball 2. So this would be an inning where Detroit would certainly figure to make its move if they can. Two and 1 to Austin Jackson. Hitting .335. Fouled away. Remember, he fouled off so many in the first inning. He had a 10-pitch at bat, and then he hit the fly ball down the left field line that dropped for a double and came home to score. Billingsley made 20 pitches in the first inning. He made 10 of them to Austin Jackson. Outside of that one hitter, his high pitching was 17 in the 4th inning. Belisario comes in and takes care of Jackson. 1 away. Well, here are the final numbers for our text message question we asked. Do you think they should play interleague games every season, every other season, or never? 66% of you said every season. You got it. So Belisario will strike out. Here's Ramon Santiago, switch hitter. Belisario has struck out 10 while walking 6 in his 12 innings. Little roller. Loney is there to pick it up. Feed Belisario coming by. 2 down in the 8th inning. And the batter will be Maglio Ordonez. For the Tigers, they have 1 hit since the 4th inning, as the Dodger pitching dominated the good hitters at the top of Jim Leyland's lineup. Maglio Ordonez had a scoring fly ball. Hit one down the right field line, and Reed Johnson made a fine running catch. And then last time up in the 6th inning, grounded to short. So he's 0 for 2. Ordonez batting .311. Ball 1. Tomorrow, Armando Galarraga and John Eli. That's a 4:10 game. And then Sunday at 1:10, Rick Porcello and Hiroki Kuroda. 2-0. Beautiful evening, good ball game, and a fine crowd. 44,282. 44,282. Boys and girls together. And ball 3. On deck, Miguel Cabrera. And ball 4. So Ordonez gets the walk. The last base runner was Bosch, with 2 out in the 6th inning. Now the walk comes with 2 out in the 8th. And here's the big guy, Miguel Cabrera. Popped up, flied to right, grounded to short. And a strike. Cabrera batting .333, 9 home runs, 38 runs batted in. A wonderful hitter. Last year, 34 home runs. He'd done that twice. Year before, 37 home runs. And that was a huge year. He had 127 runs batted in. Hung Chi Kuo and Jonathan Broxton up in the Dodger bullpen. 0-2 to Cabrera. Comebacker off the glove. Belisario throws him out. No runs, no hits, a walk and a man left at the end of 7.5. And by Chivas 18-year-old. Chivas, live with chivalry. Bottom of the 8th inning, 4-1 Dodgers. And it'll be Casey Blake, followed by Reed Johnson and Nick Green. Little roller foul, 0-1 the count. Well, Brad Thomas, the third Detroit pitcher. Dontrell Willis, 5 1/3. Then Eddie Bonine, and now Thomas. Casey Blake tonight, grounded to second, walk, fly to left, 0 for 2. And a strike, 0-2. Get him on the foot. Yep, sure did. No indication by Brian Gorman, but Casey hit by the pitch and awarded first. Dodgers had Nick Green hit by the pitch. Here comes Jim Leland now, just as he did when Green was hit on the foot. Talking to Gorman. Brian Gorman, of course, his father was a National League umpire for a long time, Tom Gorman. Here it is. And it got him on the toes of the right foot. Jim goes back into the dugout. Gene Lamont on the railing. So a runner at first, nobody out. And here's Johnson. Single to center, walk, single to left. And a line drive, base hit down into the right field corner. So here comes Blake, and they will hold him at third. He ran well for a guy who just been hit on the toes. But just like that, the Dodgers have second and third. And Reed Johnson is really something, especially against left-hand pitching. Wow. His entire career, he's hit well against left-handers. And tonight, he is 3 for 3 with a walk. Dodgers have some wonderful so-called backup players. And Reed Johnson, along with Jamie Carroll, are just a couple of them. Johnson came into the game hitting .312 in his career against left-handers. And here's Nick Green. Popped up, hit by a pitch, single to center. Ball one. The infield is up. So the Padres are losing, the Giants are losing, the Dodgers are winning, and the door is open. The first place suite is waiting. One ball and no strikes. And ball two. Another save by Alex Avila on a fastball that almost went to the screen. Gene Lamont, who's been with Jim Leyland for many, many years. 2 balls and no strikes to Nick Green. Good fastball, big swing. 2-1. The Dodgers had originally scouted and signed Brad Thomas in Australia. But from what we heard in May of 1997, 2 years after they had him, they released him because he had a visa problem. 2-2. Basically, the book on Brad Thomas, fastball, can get as high as 96 on the gun, they say. Good change and a curveball. Dodgers with Johnson and Blake out there. And ball 3 with first base open. Waiting on deck, E.J. Ellis. Three and two. Fastball got him. The Green strikes out. He goes 1 for 3. Here's our upcoming schedule for the next few days. Tomorrow at 4 on Fox with Detroit. Sunday, it will be Prime, meaning us. The network is at 4 on Saturday. Then Tuesday in Chicago on KCAL. Wednesday and Thursday from Wrigley Field on Prime Ticket. And then the weekend, a big series with Colorado. And a strike to Ellis. Waiting on deck. Remember, we figured with the 2-for-1 switch, Loney is hitting 9th. 0-1 to A.J. Ellis. Mariners 15, Padres 4. They're in the 7th inning. Pitch out, thinking squeeze, 1-1. The A's are leading the Giants 6-1 in the 8th inning. So Casey Blake is the one who's going to tell you what that's all about, if indeed the squeeze is on. And he has to commit, if indeed he's coming, just as the pitcher releases the ball. He is not coming. Line drive speared by Cabrera. So Ellis, 2 line drives tonight and a pop fly single for a run batted in. So Cabrera makes a fine play. And the runners hold, and here's Loney. First base open, and Jamie Carroll on deck. So Miguel is the man on that play. Still 4-1 Dodgers. Loney has struggled during the homestand. His average now at 297, but he has just 2 hits in his last 14 at bats. Ball 1. Loney hitting .317 against right-handers, .244 against left-handers. 4 runs, 8 hits for the Dodgers, 1 run, 4 hits for the Tigers. The Tiger run came in the first inning. Little foul ball off the foot. 1-1. In the inning, Casey Blake hit on the foot. Then Johnson doubled him to third, but Green struck out. Ellis losing an extra base hit and 2 RBIs because his line drive was speared by Miguel Cabrera. So here's Loney on a 1-ball, 1-strike count. And a little ground ball to Danny Worth. So Brad Thomas works his way out of a jam. The Dodgers leave runners at second and third, and the theme is heard in the background. And Jonathan the defense a little bit. Reed Johnson moves from right field to left as Manny Ramirez comes out of the game. And Xavier Paul takes over in right field. And he would bat in Ramirez's spot with Jonathan Broxton trying to get the last 3 outs. Big John will be working to Brennan Bosch, Brandon Inge, and the catcher Alex Avila, or a hitter. We've had one pinch hitter, Don Kelly. Bosch 1 for 3, struck out, popped up, single sharply to center. Big boy out of Santa Monica hitting .353. Facing Broxton, whose earned run average is 1. Broxton walking 2, that's all, while striking out 24. You know, one of the great things about interleague play is the fact that players from one league can take a look at people they've heard about in the other league. And all you have to do is look down at the Tiger dugout and you can see the interest. They have heard about Jonathan Broxton. They have seen Jonathan Broxton maybe on late night television, but now they're looking at him. Hit foul down the line. Brennan Bosch, 2-2 the count. Struck out in the second inning. Popped up in the fourth. Had a 2-out single in the sixth. And that goes all the way to the backstop. Ellis up with it, throws to Loney, and a nice pick to get him. Ellis got a break. The ball came back to him a little bit. Bosch strikes out a second time, goes 1 for 4. Hard pitch going to the screen, but it came back to the lettering, and he's able to nail him. 1 away. Seattle now leading San Diego 15-5 in the 7th, and Oakland leading the Giants 6-1 in the 8th. And here is Brandon Inge, 1 for 3, grounded to short, double, struck out. Ball 1. Inge hitting .227. Two and 0 the count. Inge last year hit .230, but he had a lot of power. He had 27 home runs. Right now he's hitting .227, and he has 4 home runs. In there, 2-1. As we mentioned earlier, the offense, a tale of two cities as far as the lineup is concerned. That's going to be a strike. You go through the top 5 in the Tiger lineup, and you are liable to get clawed indeed. But you go from 6 to 9, and they've not put up any offense at all in that bottom half of the lineup. 2-2. So Broxton comes in and throws BBs. He is walked 2 while striking out at 26. And you can imagine the feeling in the Tiger dugout. So that's what it's like. And now Alex Avila, who has struck out, walked, and grounded out, coming up. Last year, the Dodgers, not last year, 5 years ago in 2005, the Dodgers won 2 out of 3 from the Tigers here at Dodger Stadium. All right. One of the winning pitchers 5 years ago for the Dodgers against Detroit was Jeff Weaver. Johnny Damon is out on deck. Should Avila extend the inning. Just off the plate. 1-1. The Tigers have had 1 base runner since the 4th inning. That's a high strike of the belt. 1 and 2. So the crowd on its feet now. They'd like to see Broxton strike out the side. Gonna be happy to get him out any way he can. 1 and 2. See you later. He's done just what they hoped for. Big John strikes out the side. 27 strikeouts and 2 walks. It took him 14 pitches. Though the Tigers had 1 hit since the 4th inning. That was Brennan Bosch in the 6th. Dodgers win it 4-1, and we'll be right back.